It's the Ellie Leonard and Frederic show. Ellie's the smart one. Frederic makes all the dumbass smarts.
He's a smart ass.
He's the it's the Ellie and Frederic show. So you gotta mess up the high note.
No, that's not a mess. That was beautiful.
There it is. Yes. So how are you?
You're calling. I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. It's been a year this week, kind of.
I feel like last time we talked, I was like, do you feel like you've been running all week? Like just running? And I think,
yes.
I don't think that stopped. Like,
no. Like we had, apparently we had, and I'm working on an article about this, about, Piggy, quiet Piggy.
I feel like on the one hand, people say, why didn't people jump in? And then, the lady and I apologize for forgetting her name, but the one in the Oval Office, reporter from ABC, Mary, is her name Mary?
Yeah, Mary. I think they said it was Catherine Lucy who he was talking to.
That was on the plane. That was
on the plane. And then Catherine, and then Mary, what's her name?
Yeah, Mary.
What question did she ask? I missed that because I've been out all day.
She just asked about, she first asked about, is it appropriate for you to bring the Saudi prince in who was, convicted of chopping up a Washington Post reporter from the United States? And also all the stuff that has to do with 9/11. She's like, I don't feel that that's, do you feel that that's appropriate? And he just railed into her and said he was going to pull, have the FCC pull her license. But then I was listening to Dean today and he was like, you can't pull licenses from ABC, NBC. They're public, they're private, but they're on it's the affiliates that you can pull licenses from. So yeah, I don't even think he could do that. But it was just, it was a move by him to bring in a guy who chopped up a reporter. It was a little bit of a flex. I hang out with people who chop up reporters, which we already know that. You hang out with Putin. Putin chops up reporters. We know that. But it was a choice.
He's so deep in with the Saudis and just bought and paid for. I mean, they gave $2 billion to Jared Kushner because he's just such a good businessman, like his dad.
It's funny because I have all these lame. Once upon a time, they were very lame articles that I thought were very important, but nobody was on my Substack. Nobody cared what I was writing about. But then something like this will pop up, and I'm like, I've got an article for that nobody read once upon a time. I can resubmit that. So I'll go back and fight it because I totally did. I did a money trail article about why do we even care about the Middle East? Well, here's all the properties that are owned by the Trumps, that are owned by the Kushners, that are owned by, every single person. This is why it matters. This is why they want those airplanes from them and why they want them to have, I don't know, whatever military bases on our soil.
Of course, because it's you don't get something for nothing. I mean, Trump gets a plane and a golf course, and it's they're training. They're really what they want is military hardware.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Kushner sold them.
Right.
In the first administration, it's and Congress just, of course, the Republicans in Congress just signed off on it. It's sure.
Yeah, I also have this inkling, and this is just me thinking this comes from nowhere, but this idea that if all goes to hell, that Trump's going to go to Dubai and just be protected in Dubai. You know what I mean? He's got all his properties over there. And if the Epstein, everything goes down, he'll just defect and go to Dubai and then,
Sure. And you'll keep grifting and you'll have maybe 10% of the American population that's they've railroaded me. They screwed your freedom. Keep sending me money.
Hit some more gun shoes.
Yeah, I have
shoes.
I have Trump kebabs that I'm opening over here. They're fantastic.
Trump kebabs, gross. That just sounds gross. I know.
Oh yeah,
I don't really know what that means.
It's the lowest grade meat possible with no vegetables.
Goat. Not that goat's bad. People eat goat. I know that Ethiopians eat goat, but his food will turn any culture's food bad. So I've watched the videos of people who randomly go to Trump Tower to eat dinner, and it's just it's the poorest quality food. So
he eats like a toddler. That's what kills me. Right? It's
No, it's fine. It's gonna kill him. It doesn't kill you. It kills him.
Hurry up! Like, come on, like it's like I like my yeah, exactly. I like my steaks well done in between a Big Mac. It's like
he would be a well done steak guy. He would be.
Oh yeah, like he's of course. Well, no, he is. He's a well done steak guy, and he likes to put ketchup on his steaks.
Like, okay, I put ketchup on. I put it on eggs, right? And I know a lot of people have problems with that. I put it on hot dogs. A lot of people have problems. Steak is a generational thing that usually stops. Maybe when we go to college, I don't know. Before that, I feel like once we discover barbecue, what age did you discover barbecue sauce? Like then it's over.
Oh yeah, I mean, well, it's kind of a generational thing because I mean, like his father's generation, like, the Great Depression and stuff was like before refrigeration really took off. They salted everything, right? So it's like
Sure.
so it's like you have to cook it well done, right? And then you put like ketchup or A1 on it to kind of kill some of the salt, right? Like it's
Fred, all our grandparents were in the Depression. We don't
I
put
know
ketchup on our steaks.
But I mean that's the thing is like this is how people kind of my dad ate everything well done. Like he's just like he was a
yeah
because he's a Southerner, right? It's like I think like
Southerners had good like surf and turf. I thought they ate well when it came
only
to
if you were on the coast. If you were inland, like no, because like refrigeration really didn't kind of happen until like it was interesting. The first refrigerators in the house, like in the South, where they used to put their fridges
under the ground,
no,
in the ocean, where
on the front porch.
Because
it was a status symbol, right? So you can show off to the neighborhood.
Now when somebody has his fridge on their front porch,
it's like they would put it on the front porch because it was a status symbol that you could show the neighbors. Hey, look.
Hi, Charlie. Welcome to refrigeration history.
We have a fridge. Right. You got,
See, I just think if you're a billionaire and you were raised a billionaire, you could afford Heinz 57 because like that stuff's pricey, but it's really good. And we never got to get it because it's like $6 bought for a little tiny bottle. But ketchup is $2. Even now.
Exactly. That's why I grew up with like, it was basically, we had salt and pepper steak. That was it. There was, maybe a pat of butter. Maybe
salt and pepper.
But that was the way my dad.
If you cook a steak well, not well done, but if you cook a steak really well, medium rare, then you don't only need salt and pepper. You don't need a lot else.
No, you don't. You just need salt and pepper, maybe a little butter if you want it to be savory. But I mean, I like the episode with Hank Hill and Bobby where Hank's like firm with a little give, that medium rare. He says, well, what if somebody wants their steak well done? He goes, well, then we ask them politely but firmly to leave.
If you're just tuning in, we're talking about how Trump eats and his cholesterol.
I'm surprised he doesn't eat dino nuggies. I mean, I really don't.
I bet he does. I bet you his like meal of choice when he's home and he's not out, he probably eats differently in front of people, but like when he's at home and he's got his chef and they're like, what do you want for dinner tonight? I bet you it's something like that.
I want dino nuggies and Kraft.
Yeah, like or like I want Chef Boyardee.
Which honestly kind of sounds awesome. Like I would totally grab on that. No?
Chef Boyardee, like those little, they have like rocks in the middle of the, what are those? Raviolis, the little, like, it's like gum on the inside. They're horrible. Anyway.
No, those like, but it's Italian. It's Italiano.
No, it's not Italian.
That's not Italian.
Raviolis are Italian. That is not Italian.
Yes, it is.
I now live in northern New Jersey, and if I brought a can of Chef Boyardee to the food bank, they would turn me away. They'd be like, that is not food. Go home.
I would still do that. Like, I would do that just to have fun. It's like
I'm new here. I have a reputation to uphold, so I can't bring Chef Boyardee places. I wouldn't eat it.
I think I'm gonna send you a care package of Chef Boyardee.
Do not do it. Do not do it. I don't need Chef Boyardee. I don't need any. What is it? Hamburger Helper.
Oh, Hamburger Helper is expensive now because of the price of hamburger.
Because of the hamburger,
Right? Yeah, it was supposed to be like this is a cheap meal for the whole family because you can make it with hamburger, but it's like hamburger is more expensive than steak in some places. It's
turkey is cheaper. You can put turkey in anything. Ground turkey. Never know the difference.
That's it.
Sort of.
It's like we can't have hamburger in our Hamburger Helper because it's too expensive.
Right. Well, and they stuff it so full of like whatever they put in hamburger meat now to like make it bigger and longer that when you cook it, you have like a patty like that and you cook it and goes beep, and you're like, well, the rest of that was not hamburger. Okay, well, that's gone.
What was that? I don't know. It was a
pink slime.
It's a mystery.
Mystery meat.
Exactly.
Hi, Fred. Welcome to the Mystery Meat Podcast.
It's a Mystery Meat Podcast with your host, Ellie Leonard.
Hi.
So here's the thing. This is what shocked me this week. I did not expect the Senate to just basically say, like, no mas. Like, we are going to just whatever the House passed, unanimous, sailing it through.
Don't let your guard down, Fred.
No, I know that. I know. Listen, I know there's stuff still around the corner, but I think that. Like, what is your thoughts on that? Because I have my thoughts. I want to hear yours. What are your thoughts?
There's no plan for good that's coming out of this. Like, we hope that it just happens to turn into something good. Because I think Trump's flailing. I don't think he has a plan, or else his plan is to just like throw a lamp and run. Like I don't think he has necessarily a plan, or it's just a really bad plan. But I think he expected everybody to vote. I don't know what the one guy's problem was. He didn't vote. Although his Wikipedia page, if anybody has not read that guy's, but I forget his name, but
Clay Higgins.
Find Clay Higgins' Wikipedia page, and you will understand why he would kick puppies and vote down the Epstein bill, right? Like it's all about him like hitting police officers and beating his wives, and then it's like here's his personal life, here's his 4 wives that he's had, and like it's just not unexpected. I expected him to be a lot older to make that choice. He's not as old as I thought he was. But I think people are saving face, and you're going to see a lot of people like saving themselves right now who did bad stuff or just were really, really like negligent. I think the House of Representatives, I think, is saving their own tails right now because they know things have to get through the Senate. And so the poor senators are like now having to make that decision because it's on them. I still think that Trump's going to try to veto something. He's going to just confuse everybody, throw him for a loop, and he's going to be like, yeah, you should totally do this. Nope, going to veto it. Mark Epstein, Jeffrey Epstein's brother, who I don't totally trust. I will be honest. Love to talk to the guy. Mark, if you're out there, convince me otherwise. He thinks that they are like basically cleansing the Epstein files. That could be true. I mean, they could be redacting everything, whatever. It's really, 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 really hard to get rid of a digital footprint with that many people overseeing it. They've had 1,000 FBI agents looking at it. In that 1,000, there's going to be a couple stinkers who know their tech. And if not Elon, the Doge guys who had access to everything, like pretty sure they probably cut and paste the Epstein file somewhere. So like, I don't think they can get rid of it if they want to. Like, no. I think there's multiple copies in multiple places. But what you have to understand too is this week, and I got this wrong. The stuff we got this week was from the estate. And the 1953 estate, which is what it's called, and it's run by Darren Indyke and Richard Kahn, which are his lawyer and his accountant, or vice versa. That's private, and that's all owned by him. And they basically just dumped his whole email cache and gave it, to the House Oversight, who then gave it to the American people. There's a lot of stuff there. I don't know what the FBI took from his New York house, because the first time he was arrested, they raided, quote unquote. Oh, we'll talk about Michael Wolff in a minute. They raided his house, but very gently. Like, they already had removed all the computers before the raid started. Like, all the important stuff had been, just casually removed, coincidentally. He was very much in cahoots with the Palm Beach Police Department. And so people told him, hey, they're coming, get your stuff out. My guess is the same thing happened in New York. I don't know. Like I'm assuming his house was raided in New York, but I've only ever heard of the Palm Beach house being raided. So there's still a lot of stuff that's at his house. Everything would have been scanned. They do a really, what are the old like Keystone Cops, right? I think of the Keystone Cops, like the old 1930s movies of the dumb cops running into walls. That's how they're dealing with this paperwork. So you'll get it and it'll be like photocopied lopsided, and like there'll be part of the page will be folded over when they photocopied it, and it's all like blurry, and it's like you're the US government. Like, you have technology. You could put this in a machine and get beautiful, like scanned digitized copies that like then turn it into like a document. And then what they did this week, which is not on purpose, so also on purpose, is they took all these documents, these 23,000 pages, and they scanned them individually as GIFs. So each one is a photo of a document. Instead of scanning the whole thing and turning it into a PDF so we can just like look through it, each page of 23,000 pages is an individual picture that you have to open, look at, and close, and then go to the next one, open, look at it. Like, they do that on purpose. So it's incredibly difficult to get through everything. It's really choppy and clunky. And I know so many people this last week who have had no sleep, living on coffee, like just trying to get through these files, because everybody's trying to get through 23,000 files on their own. No one has a team of people. Like the people who have teams of people working for them aren't working for the news, and the news isn't broadcasting any of this anyway. So
no,
it's been wild. And then everybody has their own, version of what they're looking for. So for me, I've been going through all the Bannon emails with Epstein, and just like, every time I see a Bannon email, I'm like copying it down on a document. And so I'm just making kind of this timeline of every email that they emailed each other. And it's the funniest, dumbest relationship I've ever seen. And it's so much different than every single relationship he's had with like all the weird relations. So like, he's had like Jez Staley, who is his supposed banker at JP Morgan, but like they were hanging out in weird ways. All these people who were sort of relationshipy, like girlfriends or whatever, it was very much a power dynamic where they would sort of send these like, oh, hey, Jeffrey, what are we doing? No, no. Like these very like lovey-dovey. And he'd write back and be like, get back to work. I'm busy. Don't talk to me. Like, but you could tell there was something. When you get to Bannon, that breaks down. And I've never seen that in his correspondence before. He goes so 100% bro with Steve Bannon. And Bannon eats it up. He loves every bit of it. And they just start, like, their relationship just starts to get like looser and looser and looser and looser as time goes on. And like lots of dudes, and then like lots of like extra vowels, and it becomes almost like a Dear Diary. It's just a very, very weird interaction. And there's so many of them that I was like, I just need to like document all these and put them all in one spot, because they're just so funny and stupid, like totally stupid. Anyway.
Like Steve Bannon, it like every time I see him talk, his voice just doesn't match his face for me.
No. Well, his face doesn't match a TV face. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it just doesn't.
More of these people who has access to all the money and help and stylists in the world, and you show up on TV looking like your drunk grandpa. Like, why would you make that choice?
Because he's MAGA, and that's just, I mean, it's like the makeup cannot hide that much grotesque. Like, there's
you look at like Mar-a-Lago, and people are trying too hard, and then you look at someone like Steve Bannon, and you're just like, where's the middle? Like, where's the happy medium?
Like, Pete Hegseth is like the MAGA version of Dorian Gray. Like, that's, somewhere there's a painting of him that just looks like horrid,
with all his slightly racist tattoos that we're not really sure about.
Yeah, right.
But they look really uncomfortable.
And like, yeah, and he looks like a guy who's just, he wants so desperately to be a joiner. Like, he has no thoughts of his own. Mm-hmm. So it's just, yeah, guys, I'll get the Dave's whatever tattoo, and yeah, I'll tell my wife that we're going to repeal the 19th Amendment, and like, sure, whatever.
Yeah,
I'm just handsome, and I'm, like.
And then you have Kash Patel standing next to him.
every time I talk about Kash Patel, I always remember like the bit Charlie Murphy talk. Do you ever see the Charlie Murphy on the Chappelle Show when he talks about Rick James? He's like,
Yeah.
He's like, one of his bodyguards is cross-eyed, one's looking at me, and the other one's looking at Rick. And so I would say with Cash Patel, I was like, it's like one's looking at Dan Bongino and the other one's looking at his girlfriend and his SWAT team.
Here's what I think. Like, I'm very careful not to be critical of the way people look, because I try to be a good example. But like,
oh, I don't.
I know it's okay. Like, but when he knows that that's the facial expression that people recognize in him. I mean, it's everywhere. You'd think after that happening so much, he'd be like just more self-aware of like, maybe that's how my face is relaxing. I'm gonna think about what, like, I'm gonna relax.
No, that's that evil in him. That's that evil trying to come out. That's what it is.
Possessed. He's just like,
that's that evil. I mean, it's like these people are like are the most try-hard people, and this dude is taking. It's like he's got the country western singer now, like in Nashville, and it's like everything he does is a flex because he absolutely knows deep down there's zero chance she would be with him if he wasn't who he was in MAGA world. It's like, I'm gonna take the jet so I could go see my girl. It's like, oh, I'll get you the spot detail. I'll do that for you, baby. It's like no other man could do that for you. Please don't leave me. It's like, come on, man. It's like,
I don't know. I try to believe that there's not that many superficial people in the world, but yeah, the administration.
That's all of MAGA. Yeah. That's the whole thing. And the fact that you got Jeffrey Epstein and Steve Bannon, two of the least broy alpha dudes on the planet, sitting here like going over email, going, bruh, bruh.
It's so weird. Like, it just. And then he's like, "Hey, you wanna borrow the island for some filming?" He's like, "Yeah, bring my people." And he's like,
"I'll bring my people."
Like, because Bannon thought he was like this huge filmmaker. Like, he really wanted to be this huge filmmaker. And so, but even his film crew was like, didn't take him seriously. And he's like, "Did you get your film crew?" And he's like, "No, they went to work on another film this weekend because they didn't think we were really doing anything." Like, he's like, nobody takes him seriously. And there are.
You have no money. Like,
there are 15 hours. I mean, if you think of like Michael Wolff, there's like 100 hours, but like Bannon got 15 hours of interviews with Epstein that I don't know where those 15 hours are. I don't know. I kind of think that the estate owns those 15 hours. Like, I think Epstein owned those tapes, even though, so what years were those? That would be around, I think they met in 2017 and they like hit it off for whatever reason, but I think it's because Bannon really sucked up to him. Bannon really wanted to work in intelligence, and so he wanted to get back at the White House, and so he thought of Epstein as like the intelligence guy. But there's these films out there, these interviews, and there's been little tiny leaked pieces of them. And so I've posted them kind of here and there, but nobody's ever seen all of them. And it's like, I spent half my life trying to search up emails, like just guessing email handles. And so I've been trying to email Bannon all day and like guessing his domain. I do this. This is how I find work. I guess domains. But I wanna see those videos. I'm like, I will be your leaker. Like, leak it through my crummy Substack. Like, I will. Like, you can just be like, I don't know how she got these videos. Like, fine, but like, this is the time. Like, everybody needs to save themselves. Get all your shit out. Like, I will leak it all. I don't care.
See, and that's kind of where I'm at with, like, that is where I'm at with what the Senate doesn't unanimously vote on anything. No. Like, they haven't they used to on, like, say, voting rights. That was about unanimous vote, which they haven't in since the Trump era. I think here's the thing is, like, and Julie Roginski made a really good point on a live I did with her, and she was like, with the Tea Party, the Republican Party became afraid of their voting base. Mm-hmm. And Trump had that power over the MAGA voting base, which was basically what was left of really the hyperactive Republican base. That has cracked because of these files and also because of the economy. And once that happens, and it is happening, they're not going to back him. So to your point, it's going to be everybody's going to try to save themselves. We're going to have the tearful interviews with Lindsey Graham or whoever was like, you know why I went to Mar-a-Lago and I said all this because I was scared. I was scared because like Marjorie Taylor Greene's already gotten the I was duped.
Right. No.
Like, yeah, she's already done that. So the people that are
all I can visualize is her following the kids from the Parkland shooting, following them down the block and screaming at them that they're liars. Like, she's just another Alex Jones. Like,
I actually gain respect for Marjorie Taylor Greene because I thought she was an idiot. I literally did. I thought she was an idiot that got lucky, right?
So she's conniving, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I was like, oh, you are actually a slimy politician. Like, wow, like when it's time. When it's time to get out. It's like, okay, I'm cashing in my chips. I'm cashing in my bag of chips. I'm out. I'm like, oh, you're conniving. You're actually dangerous because you actually are smart, right? You're
evil. Wonder, you know, in however many years it takes, hopefully within our lifetime, when things are calm and rested, and we have calm politics and normal wars and like normal food shortages and normal epidemics. I don't know if this is ever possible again. Will all those people still be hanging out, or will they have like gone to the other side to go do their crummy beat up?
No, yeah, I think honestly, I think the danger for us, what's coming down the pipe, is they are going to throw Trump under the bus. They're going to and so
what's their backup plan? Who is their backup candidate?
Like, I think the corporatists on both sides are going to try to get things back to quote normal. And what normal is going to look like is, well, we'll give you 40-year mortgages. You're not 60, we'll give you 12-year car notes. Huh? Isn't that good, plebs? Isn't that good? And so that's like, but we can't tax the billionaires. We can't tax them. And we can't, and like, guys, we can't do all this. We can't do universal health care. I mean, we gave you like Trump. Isn't that enough? It's like, but, and then we're going to hear things like, because again, Marjorie Taylor Greene's already got, I was duped. So that's not going to work for
nobody duped. If she was, how was she duped?
No, that's what she said on The View. I was duped like everyone else. I was like, okay.
I wasn't duped. I don't have a master's degree. I don't have I did some stuff. Like, I was not duped.
That is the point I always like, because there's these people that come like say, well, guys, we got to make space for MAGA. We've got to make space for people coming to the cold. And there's a little bit to that, right? There's a little bit.
They were guilty.
At a certain point, you are a free moral agent. I wasn't duped. Tens of other millions of Americans weren't duped. So the question I would ask you is like, what about you and your values and what you hold sacred caused you to be duped? Because everything Trump was selling, I was like, this is horrible.
100% religion.
Yeah.
100% religion.
Well, it's like, I want no part of this. This is racism. This is misogyny. This is homophobia. This is bigotry.
But they don't feel that because they only saw that it was faith-based and that they were the party of faith. And there was guilt. It was a guilt trip that if you leave the party, you leave your faith. And people were just like blinded by that.
Well, and also their world's kind of slipping away. Because like I was reading a statistic today, which is interesting for me, is like, church membership has dropped 39% over the last 20 years in Tennessee, right? And Tennessee is the buckle of, my dad used to refer to it as the buckle of the Bible Belt, right? Like, and what a lot of people like, I was like, oh, well, we've experienced it. It's like, no, you don't understand. It's like, you're talking about like these small towns. And even the town I lived in for a long time, Kingsport and Johnson City, like, you had churches like how you have Starbucks now. That's what churches were. Right?
Church Christ. Yeah.
Right. So you had churches everywhere, all kinds of different denominations. And you're talking about maybe like anywhere from, like, you had big mega churches, but you also had a lot of it mostly was like congregates from like maybe 100 people.
Yeah.
And so when you think about that, like the church you grew up in, maybe it has 200 members, experiences a 40% drop in 20 years. And that's because, people like me, like who said, wait, hang on, you taught me all this stuff about Jesus and you're not practicing it.
Right.
All right, I'm going to start questioning things. And so but they're not taking responsibility for it. What they're seeing is they're going, well,
you're defecting, you're losing your faith. Right.
Right. These kids have lost their faith because of the woke. Right. It's because of the gay agenda. It's because
all of my friends that I went to high school, went to youth group, like all of them text me and they're like, my mom thinks I've lost my faith. Do you think I've lost my faith? And I said, no, I think people have taken their faith home, because when you go to church, and this is a thing for me, and this is maybe not a problem for everybody, but it really bothers me when you go to church and up at the front you have a cross and then you have an American flag next to it. Because I am not, if I'm going to church, I'm not there to like worship.
Oh, wow.
The flag, right? That's like the flag is.
That wasn't even like that in the military when I was in.
Right. That's very often what you go in. There's a flag up there, which I don't like that. I like our flag, but I don't think that's a place for it.
No, that must be new, because I haven't I haven't really been a churchgoer since in like 25 years or more.
Right.
And so
we still do. I mean, we've got a great one here. It's a very open-minded, great church. But I think a lot of people take their faith home because they realized when they were going to the church building, to the congregation of their faith, they were seeing a lot of really bad stuff happening, which people do bad stuff. You have to be able to separate what you believe from the people who believe it. But it can be so disheartening, but it can also make you question your faith. And you have to be like, is this my faith that's doing it? Or is it the people who believe the same thing I do going off and then like putting children in cages, right? Like, right. I don't put children in cages, and I have the same faith as this person. So do I have the same faith as this person? And so a lot of it is just being like, I'm believing, I believe what I believe. I believe in the religion that I believe, but I'm going to take that home for a while, because when I go to the church, I'm seeing a whole bunch of stuff that I cannot stand with. I can't do the politics that are coming out of the pulpit. Like, we're not supposed to be doing that. And so you kind of take it and you sort of do it independently, which I think probably a lot of people are doing. Some people are probably leaving their faith altogether, but like most people are just taking it home because they just can't go anymore.
Well, and I'm an agnostic atheist, sort of the Bertrand Russell sort of variety, right? Like I don't know if there's not an over deity or whatever, but given the lack of evidence, I'm going to say probably not. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, without faith and without I'm also not one of these like abolish religion, right. It's Karl Marx, the opiate of the masses, that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Because you have, yes, this has given us very horrible things, but every ideology's done that.
Right.
But you also have people like MLK. Mm-hmm. A lot of the movements that were progressive and socially conscious stemmed from like abolitionism. Right. Started as a religious movement. It was a call from people who felt, called by their faith to do something about people in bondage. And so, there are, who was the woman that, she was I think she was an Episcopal minister.
Oh, recently?
Yeah, it was right at the start of Trump's term. I want to say
her name. She got the short hair, like Sandy. Yeah. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
fantastic. She's great.
Fantastic. Yeah, and you look at the last pope and then this pope, right? And so, I think religion, like anything else, Christianity, whatever, could be organized for good, but it also can be, just like anything else in humanity, organized for nefarious purposes.
And Epstein was meeting with the other pope, just so we know. Okay, carrying on.
I want to try to get the pope over to the Middle East. I was like, I wonder how much of this stuff was just in his head or he was talking shit.
I don't know if it was in his head. That's the rough part. Yeah,
I know, right? Because because you're like, no, that can't be true. And then you find out it is. You're like, dear God, like this is.
He was
And I
teaching the finance minister in China how to get a loan from the United States. Like, do you think that guy needs instructions from dude from the Dalton School on how to get a loan? He's the finance minister.
But he might. That's the thing is like, like here's this is the thing. And I know you mentioned in part of this, you were like, well, it's the federal government. They have to do this. Like, hang on.
Yeah.
As someone who's who's come from a family of federal employees, and I've got friends in there now. So one of the things that's interesting that's happening now is where the government's kind of starting to grind to a halt is all the people they're forcing out. And you got to understand with like some of the systems we use and like how the government, this Byzantine way it works. These people like have like the knowledge base on how to get things done. Right. And so they're being fired. And so they're going like, I had a friend of mine who, was in federal contracts. He's on the outside and he was complaining. I said, what's going on, man? He's like, oh, this guy who was the head of this program, like basically just ghosted the government and was like deuces, and took all his keys and everything, like basically all the like entries with him and just said, yeah, figure it out. And they were like, no one knows what to do now.
No, that's the thing. Like, if you go fire the federal government, and you also have the Epstein files in the federal government, and people are mad, they're angry, and they don't really care what. Like, it's not going to disappear, but it might not come from the place that we think that it's going to come from. And if everything falls apart, you better believe that those women have a backup plan. So if like Trump comes back and goes, just kidding, I vetoed it, you can't have it. They have our list ready. They are ready and they are waiting. They're just trying to do it the right way first. But if they don't do it, they have a plan.
Well, and the thing is, I think, I really think that given everything, I have a long shot bet on, some whistleblower from the Office of Weights and Measurements is just going to be like, yeah, some jackass sent me the entire Epstein files from the FBI.
There's some boxes in the back of the office.
Like, yeah, I'm getting fired for whatever reason. So here you go.
Oh, yeah. It's like the guy who gave away the KFC recipe when he quit, he got fired, and he's like, "Here's the secret recipe for KFC."
Yep,
I'm gonna put it on the internet.
Some disgruntled employee that got canned, it's just gonna be like, fired me 3 days before my kid's 8th birthday. All right, cool.
Files, bloop.
It's like, who is this? Ellie Leonard. There it is, and it's just like. If you ever call me and I hear just nothing but I'm gonna be like, oh, they sent the files.
People. I called someone today and I was like, what am I allowed to do without getting sued? Here are my options. Which one do I choose? Like, so I'll push it. Like, I'll push it as far as I can. But I also I don't have financial backing and I don't have a lawyer. So I gotta be smart. But like, I'm like, what is the wording that I can use before I just like dump all this stuff that makes it I'm not culpable if they come back and they go, you can't say that. That's not true. I can be like, allegedly. It is right here. It says allegedly. Like, what can I say? Because there's stuff. People are now, for whatever reason, I don't understand, but people are coming to me and be going like, here's some information for you. Would you like to have it? It's
because you are officially an investigative journalist and you're gonna have to deal with it.
Okay, first off, you know how I feel about that. But secondly, like,
I know, but you are.
There are a lot of investigative journalists, and I always remind people, like, my platform. If you think of the wide world of journalism or whatever, like, my platform is relatively small. Like, there are people who have backup and have people and who have publicists and like PR people. Like, I don't have any of that. I just have like this stinky little Substack.
Do you know how many
do it that way?
Like throughout history, how many of these big stories that have toppled like presidents and governments were broken by the nobodies? Because again, the people in power have something to lose. The people with the access, they're not going to risk that. They're not going to go out on a limb and say, oh yeah, I'm going to be the one to break it. No, because it's like
Mhm.
they enjoy their status where they're at.
Right.
And
But also nobody's watching me from like the government that I know of. Like Trump doesn't care about me. None of these people know me or care about me. And so like that benefits me in a way that like if I wanted to write something or do something, I'm potentially unexpected, right? Because they're not looking for me. They're looking for Michael Wolff. They're looking for all these people who have status. Maybe not Michael Wolff. Maybe that's bad. Maybe they're not looking for Michael Wolff anymore. But like I
Michael
don't.
Wolff he's a tease. Like he's just like, I have all the stuff. I
Yeah.
mean, maybe I'll do it. No, you won't. No, you
What
won't.
was that? Was that the guy? What's the greased up deaf guy? What was that show from?
Yeah, bring a Family Guy.
Never
I'm
gonna
gonna,
catch me.
I'm gonna release the Epstein Files. I'm gonna do it. You know, so maybe next
Okay.
year.
Here's
You
the
know,
one thing though. I'm gonna get on my high horse. Okay, so this week, and I posted a thing last night. Like I'm just gonna keep saying it. I'm gonna keep saying it until somebody hears me. Um, I work at the Deal Book Conference at the New York Times. I've worked at it every year for like maybe 8 or 9 years. Like for a long time, I do their transcripts. It's a big mucky muck $3,000 ticket event where they bring in millionaire CEOs who listen to millionaire CEOs talk. Like it's a vacuum. Like nothing changes from the people who walk in. Like they don't walk away enlightened and go off and do good things. It's just that's not what it's meant for.
right?
The year I went was the year that Elon like went crazy on stage and it was all over the news. So that's the year I was in the building watching it.
You're gonna have to narrow it down. You say Elon goes crazy on
there.
stage. I'm like,
Yeah, no, that was before the Republican National Convention and all those. So like it was when he had a select few crazies. But like I was there. I think I was there to see Jamie Dimon, I believe, for J.P. Morgan Chase. Like I've seen some. Oh, I was there. Kamala was there, like before she ran for president. Um, so anyway, I worked at it. I've subcontracted for the Times. I always, I try to tell people that like the journalists at the Times are good people, even if the people at the top are not good people. I sat down and every year I go and they announce who's coming like a month before it happens. And so I was kind of excited. I was talking to Andrew Ross Sorkin, who runs it, and I was like, I'm looking forward to it, like to see who's coming. I look and he's invited Ehud Barak, who's the former prime minister of Israel, who is, unnamed in Virginia's book, but I know that that's who she's talking about. My sources that I talk to know that that's who she's talking about. Like I verified that that's who she's talking about. And he's the most violent person who ever abused her on the island. Like he is a violent child rapist and he has that reputation. He has a reputation for being very good friends with Jeffrey Epstein.
Mhm.
And if they're going to go in there and they want to have someone to talk about like the Gaza conversation, like maybe that's not the guy to choose this year, right? Like that's a huge dog whistle to where you stand in the Epstein conversation. Like there's a lot of people who could have that conversation. And I wrote to Andrew and I was like, what are you doing? Like, did you hear there's a book? Did you hear there's like a national contract? Like, why that guy this year? And
because
he wrote,
yeah,
yeah, he wrote
no,
back and he was like, I hear you, whatever. Like he just didn't even
you
respond. It was a
don't.
very,
No, you
and
don't.
normally he calls me on the phone and has a conversation. This time he's like, yeah, I hear you. Um, and so like, and then I dig a little deeper and I'm looking through this stuff. And then I found out that when, Epstein was hired for Bear Stearns out of the Dalton School, when like he randomly got a job on Wall Street out of the Dalton School, the Times also wanted to hire him out of the Dalton School. Like the Salzburgers who own the Times tried to hire him to come work at the Times. And then that family still owns the Times to this day. So it's like, it's just so frustrating to me. And I want to get that guy canceled so badly. I want to get him out of that summit so badly. And like, I've been trying to like yell into people's inboxes, like, do you understand that the New York Times is promoting this guy who rapes children? Like who's on paper in a best-selling book as having raped children. And there's so many people who can back it and verify it. And who know, like her family knows that, like her friends know that. And I just, yeah. So it's just been, I feel like it's just been consuming me all week because I can't believe that they would do that. Like I should believe that, but I just can't believe that they made that choice.
No, I mean, that's it. I mean, I get what you're saying. It's the umbrage of it, right? Is the fact is because again, and that's the fear I have is what we're going to get is it was just a select few. It was Trump and then a few people here,
No.
but nobody else. Don't look anymore. Don't look at it was just Prince Andrew and maybe Trump and like one other
They're
person.
just gonna put the J.P. Morgan files over here.
Right.
We're gonna
Because
shoot them.
yeah, because we don't like because again, we don't want it to because if it's as pervasive as it is, right?
Right.
Then it's then you're forced to look at it. You're forced to you reckon with it. And if you don't do anything and you accept, then you accept it.
Right.
Right. And you're part of the issue. And so it's and they'll give us all well, guys, we can't hold everybody accountable. Why not? Why not? Why can't we?
To in my
Like why can't we?
dumb little way. Right.
It's just and that's what this era is because we're gonna be told like, you know, well, bad things happened and we just have to accept them. No, we don't. We really don't. Well, like the two parties are who they are. No, they're not.
Right. This has been going on for 4 decades. So like that was fine. That worked for you then. That does not work for us now.
No,
otherwise it's going to go on for 40 more decades, and it's going to be our kids going through this.
No, yeah, we have to be obstinate. We have to say that this does not freaking no. This does not stand because if there's any hope for young men coming up, right, to not be misogynistic pieces of trash, they have to be held accountable, right? There have to be other things we have to say. No, this is freaking wrong. You can't treat children, young girls, women like this. It is wrong.
And don't make fun of the guys who are raised well, right? If you raise your boys, I've got 3 boys at home, like they're allowed to cry. They're allowed to have feelings. They're allowed to like think of others first. Like that's how you raise them. Don't make fun of them for being raised that way, because then you just contribute to that cycle where they have to be tough and they have to be, it's okay to use your fists to like make, like it continues. It just continues. I don't know.
I have a very difficult time crying to this day.
Yeah.
It's just kind of how I was raised. And I don't recommend that for, any like young boys coming up.
Yeah.
You should feel like because it took me a long time to learn how to cope with my emotions because anger was the only acceptable outlet that I was allowed to have. You can get angry as a man, that's fine. But or it was like rigid control. It was like anger or rigid control.
Yeah.
That was it. And so, what we have to stop accepting the unacceptable. We have to. And Jeffrey Epstein is freaking unacceptable. And they're going to try to say, it's just a few. It's just a few. It's not everyone. Let's not, we're done. Is that enough? No, it's not.
There you go. Everybody's saying Trump just signed it. That's what everybody in the comments is saying. Trump signed the bill.
Of course he did. Because again, he's terrified of losing his base.
But now it goes to the Senate, right? Like this.
No, it's passed. Like they're going to release it, but now it's see the thing is with Trump, right? Is what he does is just like that woman who basically completely botched the homie thing.
Yeah,
she's probably going to lose.
Forgot to give you guys the indictment before you vote. I'm sorry.
Yeah, like she's probably going to lose her law license. And all for what? For what?
Yeah. Well, and did she have it seemed like she had a really kind of low key background for.
Well, she's not. She basically never been to trial, so it's like there's different kinds of lawyers, but it's like it's just like Rudy Giuliani and that other co-counsel that was from Colorado that got screwed up in it. Like Trump will. So Pam Bondi is going to have to take one for the team now, and so she's going to slow roll it, or she's going to hide evidence, or whatever, right? But at Trump is in a no-win situation because what we're seeing is it's just the egg timer started.
Mm-hmm.
The egg timer has started, and yeah, you're going to have people that are going to, try their, because here's the thing you gotta remember, right? Is at a certain point, it's production versus tolerance theory, right? And every dictatorship, it becomes way more expensive to keep the dictator than to just get rid of him. And that's what's about to happen, right?
Yeah.
Is he's not paying out once you like because what happens is the peasants get mad, the citizenry gets pissed, you start losing your base of support on the outer edge, and then you're not doing enough for the center ring and then the inner ring to back you. And that's what this Senate bill was. That was the first kind of like because dude, Mike Johnson, when he walked out after the Senate just unanimously said he was shocked. He was shook.
Yeah.
Because what he thought was,
Yeah.
we're gonna pass this piece of shit, and then you're gonna go and you guys are gonna clean it up and you're gonna fight it out and you're gonna, pull out all the bad stuff and you're gonna slow roll it for Daddy Trump. And the Senate said, nope.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was like, oh,
It's still like if it
no, you shouldn't trust them. I'm not saying trust them. Because again, there are so many of them that like everybody what you're going to see moving forward is everybody's going to start picking their plays. Marjorie Taylor
they're
Greene,
going to say they don't. There's a lot of people in there who could care less about pedophilia. Couldn't care less.
oh god, yeah, it's like
but they care more. But they care about their reputation, and they're going to start fighting for their reputation, and so they'll go along with whatever saves that. But
Marjorie Taylor Greene has already picked her play, which is I was duped just like you, right? And I've grown and I've changed. It's like so now what's going to happen is you're going to see, well, I didn't know anything about this. Did you know anything, Bill? No, of course I didn't know anything about this. Like, what? Like, this is an outrage, and we really somebody needs to do something about it.
Fred, you and I must be geniuses then. Like we must, like the rest of us, we're just geniuses because somehow we knew ahead of like the legislature. We knew everything ahead of the government. So we must be geniuses.
And really what it's going to boil down to is, are the American people going to accept it? And the hard part with that is, if like we were really entering into a golden age and the economy was booming and everybody's taking vacations and housing prices are low, and it's like we're entering into the roaring 21st century version. Oh yeah, like they might get a pass. But when it's like, I can't get a home, I'm getting kicked out, I don't have my job, it's just like, what? And you're raping little girls? Oh, hell no. And so now it's like that becomes the catalyst to vent all this rage. And that's what's scaring the hell out of them.
Yeah, I hope.
That because again, you don't know how that's going to break.
Mm-hmm.
And I think why they're freaking out now is like, for the first time, and they're like, oh man, the plebs might not swallow this one. Oh Lord. Okay.
I keep thinking that. I can't, like, I'm trying. I am a naturally glass half full person, and I am really mad that this whole ordeal has made me less so because, like, I've always been optimistic. That is how I got here. That's how I fight day to day, and I keep trying to do the things that I keep getting rejected. Like, I'm an optimistic person.
Well, if you're a glasses half full person, you're still half a realist, so that's fine.
I know, but I mean, like walking into this, when they go, oh no, this is obvious. This is what will happen because it's obvious. Why wouldn't I just always go, yeah, but the guy like pepper sprayed people to go get his picture taken with an upside down Bible, and then like put children in cages, and then grabbed women by the pussies, and then like just encouraged a guy who chops up reporters. Like, I don't really know where the low bar is for people who voted for him. I don't know. I don't know what the camel or the straw that broke the camel's back. I don't know what that is. You would think we were so far past it, but
I think
they just reelected him.
The last time I checked, I think after the Senate vote, it's currently I think it's at the 7th level of hell. So it's got 2 more levels, like, I think we've got 2 more levels. I mean, we're at, like, excusing child rape at this point. That's definitely 7th level.
No, but like right before, what was it? Right before the Madison Square Garden, he was like, I kind of liked Hitler's generals, and people were like, yeah, vote for that guy. Like, I think that that's the right answer. Like, I think that people wouldn't vote for the child rape thing, but like, I've been wrong so much in the past year. Like, I just
go bring eggs down. That's why I voted for him.
you know how much we paid? I went to the grocery store. We have a normal grocery store. I bargain shop. And we bought a week, and granted, we have 4 kids, right? We're not a small family, but like I bought a week's worth of groceries for the whole week for the dinners, lots of noodles, lots of rice, veggies, basic cheap meats, milk, juice, right? $368 for 1 week of groceries.
They said the median price. Yeah, they said a median price for family 4 is it's the highest it's been in 4, like it's $1,000 a month. Median price across the nation.
Yeah. Yeah, that would make sense then.
I mean, we're going into the pantry because I stocked up and, like, I had my middle-aged man meal because it was like I was rushing. So I was like, I'm gonna make me a tuna fish sandwich. I'm gonna get me.
Yeah, it was just me. It would be like cereal, or once upon a time in a dreamy time, it was eggs. I love eggs. I would eat eggs because I was cheap, but like now that's not cheap. So there you go.
Chicken, I do chicken. A lot of chicken, some rice, and then you do veggies, spinach. Saute that. Because you get that vitamin K in there. And it's just, yeah. That's that's what the ladies love on the online dating apps. It's like, are you
sauteed spinach? I don't know about that.
I was like, no, they go, that is a frugal man. It's like, ladies love frugality,
See, we rounded it out. We rounded out the talk with food. We started with food and we ended with food.
Of course. It's amazing,
Wait, no one's hungry.
No, I think, I think we might be seeing, hopefully, the beginning of the end. I think that's what we're seeing.
I hope it's just like without hurting the American people further, I hope it hurts the people involved a little bit. I hope it's humiliating. I hope they lose stuff. I hope I hope there's regret. You know what I mean? Like, I hope it's not like Larry Summers going to his class going, guys, I'm just going to back up for a little bit because I was so silly. I wrote some emails. Like, tar and feather. I need to see you out on the lawn. People like, what is it? Fraternity initiation. That's what I want to see. People with brooms smacking them while they walk past, throwing eggs. Like, I want a little bit of humiliation because I don't think these people have had to deal with humility in their entire lives, while the rest of us can't pay for groceries. Like they constantly have people telling them how great they are while they hurt children. And I hope this hurts. I really hope this hurts. I don't know.
They need prison, and anybody who enabled it, or even knew about it and didn't say anything needs to be shunned. Maybe they don't go to jail, but it's like you should wear, you should. We should do the Brad Pitt from Inglourious Basterds. Just have an E.
Bring back the Scarlet Letter.
Put the E for Epstein. It's just like, see, we can't have you walking around after this like you're a normal person.
I thought, it would be fun to bulldoze the island and just put them all out there and pull up the docks and just be like, Survivor, bye guys. Like, you get to all spend the rest of your life together on the island. Have a nice life.
I'm a little more humane than that and practical. It's like, I want them to be in a Supermax, where they have 23-hour lockdown and they can,
with a cellmate named Bubba.
Oh no, not even that. I was like, because I want to keep them there. So when you get these other politicians that come in and they start acting a fool, we can go, let's take a tour.
Oh yeah,
Let's take a tour.
Like scared straight. Like
yeah, let's take a tour. Let's go in here and see what happens when you start acting a fool, and you start, we're gonna send your ass there, and it's just 23-hour lockdown, no shoe program, no freaking trades, nothing, right? Maybe books. That's about it. It's
they
like,
can't read. They don't need books.
There's a Bible. We'll give you any religious book you want. That's it.
I don't know. They'll figure out a way. I don't know. I still don't trust them. I don't know. We all need a lot of sleep, and it's good. There's good days ahead. I don't know when they're coming, but they're coming.
They're coming. It'll always turn. It's going to.
Right.
Like we reference MLK as like, the arc of the universe is long, but it bends towards justice. So.
No, but then they killed him. Yeah. I just feel like, I hope. Really hope.
But you know what? We got him for a little while.
And for a little while. Good. Yeah. He was good people.
That's your glass half full.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, sorry, guys. All right.
All right. Thank you, Ellie. I appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. We'll talk to you later.
Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Bye.